Hey everyone, it's August 2nd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with Antone Tony Costa, who murdered as many as 8 victims, becoming known as the Cape Cod Vampire. And that is him right up there. Costa was born in 1945, and his father died in World War II shortly after his birth. He had an active imagination, or was haunted, if you believe that sort of nonsense, claiming at the age of 7 that his father was coming to visit him during the night. When he was 17, he broke into a house in a suburb of Boston and attempted to assault a teenage resident. Her screams drove him off, but he returned 3 days later and tried again. He was stopped in the act of dragging her down the stairs by neighbors and was convicted of burglary and assault, but received just a 1-year suspended sentence. Costa married a 14-year-old girl when he was 18 and fathered 3 children during the ill-fated drug-fueled relationship. At the age of 21, he brought home 2 hippie girls and told his wife that he was going to California with them. They never arrived on the West Coast, however, and Costa returned 10 days later, claiming to have driven them to Hayward, but they are believed to be his first victims as a killer. The next year, he shot a female friend with an arrow in an accident, but his later behavior calls that into question. By 1968, his marriage was a mess, and he headed to San Francisco, living briefly in the Haight-Ashbury district before shipping up to Boston again. A girlfriend of his disappeared the same day he left, and authorities believe she was another victim. Upon his return to the East Coast, he burglarized a doctor's office, stealing drugs and surgical equipment. A week later, a local 18-year-old woman disappeared, and his new live-in girlfriend also went missing, with Costa claiming that she had gone to Mexico. Another girlfriend turned up dead in New York a few months later, drowned in a bathtub during a drug overdose. In early 1969, the mutilated body of his former girlfriend who had gone to Mexico was found, and 2 more friends of his went missing. Then in March, the dismembered bodies of many of his former companions who had gone missing began turning up, found buried in shallow graves. They had been shot in the head and had their hearts cut out, and the remains bore human teeth marks and showed evidence of necrophilia. Costa had buried his victims in the same field where he grew marijuana, and he was immediately the #1 suspect. When he was arrested, a psychiatrist described him as a modern-day Marquis de Sade and a sexually dangerous man who was capable of murder. He finally confessed while in custody. This is disputed, with some sources saying that he never confessed, and was convicted of 4 counts of murder, though it's believed he killed at least 8 women. Sentenced to life in prison, he collected books related to the occult and ritual magic, including the famed Satanic Bible, keeping them in his cell. He also wrote a fictionalized account of his crimes in a book called Resurrection, in which he claimed that a friend of his had actually committed the murders. And if you believe that, O.J. Simpson wrote a book you may enjoy. In 1974, he was found hanging by a leather belt, having killed himself in his cell. 2 books about the case have been published in the last year, and the authors were scheduled to appear at an event at a bookstore in Cape Cod this month. But a social media outcry led by relatives of Costa threatened violence, so the event was canceled. If this is your birthday, hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know somebody whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Tony Costa, I say happy birthday, you bastard.